Have you ever noticed that when life gets overwhelming, something shifts? Your sleep changes, your mood changes, and sometimes even your most private, intimate moments start to feel off? Most people brush it off. They blame tiredness, or age, or just bad timing. But here's what almost nobody talks about. Stress may be quietly working against you in ways you've never connected to it. Today, we're going to break down exactly how stress affects your performance, your confidence, and your relationships, using real science, real data, and real solutions. No fluff, no shame, just honest information that could genuinely change things for you. Stay with us, because by the end of this, you'll understand your own body in a completely new way. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Stress isn't just a feeling. It's a full-body response. And your body doesn't care if you're stressed about a work deadline or something more serious. It reacts the same way every single time. When you experience stress, your brain fires a signal to your adrenal glands. Those glands release a hormone called cortisol. Think of cortisol as your body's emergency switch. It's brilliant in a true crisis. It sharpens your focus, pumps energy to your muscles, and prepares you to deal with a threat. But here's the problem. Modern life keeps that switch flipped on. Deadlines, financial pressure, relationship tension, social media, traffic. All of it adds up, and your body treats it the same as a physical emergency. And when your body is in emergency mode 24/7, the last thing it prioritizes is intimacy. Let's get into the actual biology, and don't worry, we'll keep this simple. When cortisol stays elevated, it suppresses your body's production of reproductive hormones. In men, that means testosterone levels can drop. In women, it disrupts estrogen and progesterone. These hormones are deeply tied to your energy levels, your mood, and yes, your interest in and response to intimacy. There's more. Stress causes your blood vessels to constrict. Blood flow slows down. And physical arousal, for both men and women, is heavily dependent on healthy blood flow. When that's compromised, your body literally cannot respond the way it's designed to. And then there's the brain. Stress hijacks your prefrontal cortex. That's the rational, calm part of your brain, and hands control over to the amygdala, your threat detection center. The amygdala does not care about connection or pleasure. It cares about survival. When it's running the show, relaxing into an intimate moment feels almost impossible. Quick science recap. Elevated cortisol suppressed sex hormones reduced blood flow overactive threat brain. Every link in that chain works against you. Now let's talk about what this actually looks like, because this isn't just theory. This is happening to real people in real relationships right now. You're not alone in this. Picture someone who's been grinding at work for weeks. By the time they get home, they're exhausted, not just physically, but mentally depleted. Their partner wants to connect. They want to too, honestly, but their body just doesn't respond the way it used to. And that gap between wanting to and being able to, that's where stress does its most damaging work. Or think about the person who's always in their head, overthinking every moment, wondering if they're doing enough, if they're enough. That mental noise drowns out everything that makes intimacy feel natural and free. Common patterns include a noticeable drop in desire or energy, difficulty maintaining focus during intimate moments, physical performance that feels unpredictable, a growing sense of pressure before intimacy even begins, and a low-grade but persistent loss of confidence. These aren't character flaws. They are symptoms. Symptoms of a body and mind under too much sustained pressure. Most people don't even realize stress is the root cause. They think something is fundamentally wrong with them. It isn't. This isn't just observation. The research backs it up clearly. Studies show that chronic stress is one of the leading psychological contributors to performance-related issues in both men and women, consistently ranking above physical health conditions in self-reported surveys. According to research published in peer-reviewed journals, men with higher cortisol levels show significantly lower testosterone, and testosterone is directly linked to energy, drive, and physical performance. Surveys of couples in relationship counseling reveal that over 60% report a noticeable decrease in intimacy during high-stress life periods. Job changes, financial strain, family conflict. The stress doesn't just affect the individual, it reshapes the entire relationship dynamic. Research in psychosexual health also consistently links performance anxiety, which is essentially stress directed inward, to reduce satisfaction for both partners. The more someone fears they'll underperform, the more likely that fear becomes a self-fulfilling outcome. Studies show the anticipation of failure often causes more physical disruption than any underlying health issue, which means the mind is both the problem and the solution. Here's where it gets really important to understand. Stress creates a cycle, and once you're in it, it can feel very hard to escape. It works like this. Stress causes one difficult experience. That experience creates fear and self-doubt. The next time intimacy is possible, the mind remembers that fear. It starts to anticipate failure. The body tenses, focus scatters, and often, a second difficult experience follows. Now the cycle is reinforced. The brain has linked intimacy with anxiety. What should feel natural starts to feel like a test you're afraid to fail. Psychologists call this performance anxiety, and it's more common than most people admit. The problem is that the more mental energy you spend monitoring yourself, asking, is this going right? Am I doing okay? What do they think? The less present you actually are. And presence is everything in an intimate moment. The irony is that trying too hard to perform well is one of the surest ways to undermine it. The mind and body need trust and ease to function at their best, not pressure and surveillance. Awareness is the first step out of this loop, and you're already taking it. Stress doesn't just affect the person experiencing it. It radiates outward, and nowhere is that more felt than in a close relationship. When intimacy becomes inconsistent or strained, partners often misread the situation. One person may wonder if they're still desired. The other may feel guilty, ashamed, or broken. Neither is talking about what's really happening, and so the distance grows. Stress makes communication harder, too. Irritability and emotional withdrawal are classic symptoms. Small misunderstandings start to feel bigger. What used to feel easy and natural begins to feel like effort. Over time, the emotional and physical disconnection can feed each other. The less connected a couple feels emotionally, the more pressure there is around physical intimacy. And the more strained physical intimacy becomes, the more emotional distance tends to follow. None of this means the relationship is broken. It means it needs attention. And the good news is that recognizing the pattern is genuinely the hardest part. All right, here's what you actually came for. Let's talk solutions. Real ones, not generic advice. 1. Regulate stress at the source. Daily physical exercise. Even 20 to 30 minutes of walking lowers cortisol, boosts endorphins, and improves testosterone in both men and women. It's one of the most evidence-backed mood and hormone regulators that exists. 2. Protect your sleep. Your body produces the majority of its reproductive hormones during deep sleep. Chronic sleep deprivation drives cortisol up and testosterone down. 7 to 9 hours isn't a luxury, it's maintenance. 3. Breathe with intention. Box breathing or slow diaphragmatic breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and connect mode. Even 5 minutes before an intimate moment can meaningfully shift your physiological state. 4. Talk to your partner openly. Honest, low-pressure conversation removes the guesswork. When partners understand what's happening, stress often drops significantly. You don't need to have it all figured out. Just say what's true. 5. Remove the pressure to perform. Deliberately shift the goal from performance to connection. Focus on presence, warmth, and closeness rather than outcome. The moment intimacy becomes about enjoying each other rather than evaluating results, anxiety loses its grip. 6. Consider professional support therapists, particularly those specializing in psychosexual health or stress management. Offer tools that go far beyond what a YouTube video can cover. There is no shame in that. It's one of the most proactive things you can do. Building confidence naturally also means celebrating small wins. Every moment of genuine connection, regardless of what it does or doesn't lead to, is progress. The nervous system learns safety through repetition, not perfection. You don't fix this overnight, but you absolutely can fix it, and it starts with understanding what's actually happening. Let the final words breathe. Let's bring this home. Stress is not a personal failing. It is a biological response to a world that never really asks you to slow down. And when it quietly seeps into your most intimate spaces, your confidence, your relationships, your sense of self, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. The science is clear. Cortisol disrupts hormones. Anxiety disrupts blood flow. A mind full of fear cannot be fully present. But none of that is permanent. None of it is irreversible. The fact that you're here, that you watched this far, that you wanted to understand rather than ignore, that already puts you ahead of most people who just suffer in silence and wonder why things feel off. Take care of your stress. Sleep well. Move your body. Talk to the person who matters to you. Remove the pressure to be perfect. And if you need more support than that, go get it. You deserve that. If this video helped you, even a little, consider sharing it with someone who might need it too. Most people dealing with this believe they're the only one. They aren't. You're not. Take care of yourself. We'll see you in the next one.